What are some other kind of harmful toxics that is found in water? Maybe like, for example, fluoride, and what are the health implications of those?
Yeah, in terms of fluoride, it's funny, I didn't know how much is added to your water systems around, Europe, but apparently that was edited into the book, some of that research. Fluoride was never meant to be in the human body. It's essentially the argument was that it helps fix teeth, and it does, in fact, help to create, stronger teeth, less dental caries. But there's other ways to get fluoride onto your teeth. I mean, there's certainly topical is what we do in the United States, and we don't really need to be drinking fluoride, which basically, knocks off some of these fluorinated components like thyroid has iodine, functional, so fluoride can affect the thyroid function. It can affect other parts of the human body and certainly the brain function. And it's been identified in pregnant women. It's been identified as a contributor to decreased IQ and some other developmental issues in pregnancy. So, I do not want all any of my pregnant patients to be drinking fluoridated water. In fact, a good reverse osmosis filter will also take that off. Around the world, they've been removing fluoride, from water systems. I mean, left and right. I mean, the data is just really remarkable. So I do think people should be thinking about that. I mean, certainly fluoride is just one of many. We have chlorine that's added, which intentionally to obviously to reduce pestilence, but we want to remove that once it gets to your glass, right? You don't want to, they send it out and then it goes to your home, but you really want to kind of remove some of those things and detergents and other things added to clean water. Lead and lead piping, certainly we have change out to PVC, but polyvinyl chloride is not a great substitute. It has its own risks. Kind of like my dog's toy was polyvinyl chloride, right? We don't want that in our bodies. Um, and so again, the solution is not to worry so much about what your home is necessarily being inundated with, or changes of season, or floods, or climate change, which affects chemicals in our environment, our water, but to do it at your home, to clean it once it hits your house, your apartment, and they're not expensive anymore. So, I do encourage people to prioritize water even so much more than like other things that you use less.
Yeah, definitely. And do you know when fluoride was added to a lot of water, and was it just added because of the benefit to the teeth and not without any research about the potential health impacts? Was it just
Oh, these are tough questions because I don't keep it all in my brain and I'm a lot older than you. So I don't recall it being added for other reasons other than for the dental world. I don't know how people stumbled across this. Um, and I don't want to have any conspiracy theories behind it, but I never really trust some of these things that are added into our system sometimes when, unless I understood sort of the public health benefits. So for example, in the US, there was iodine, which was added to bread and to table salt, was actually a really important public health measure because it actually gets into our thyroid gland and actually protects it from a lot of environmental chemicals. But back in the day, also goiter, which was a diagnosis where you didn't have enough iodine. We don't make iodine, we have to get it from food. And so that was a public health measure that anyone can look up on Wikipedia or what have you and understand that that was actually a reasonable, well studied addition to the food system. But no one eats bread anymore and no one eats table salt. They eat sea salt, Celtic, and kosher sea salt. So that doesn't have iodine. And so now we're back to having a real problem with iodine. So I talk about that in the book because I want people to think about micronutrients. But fluoride is not a nutritional valuable that I'm aware of in terms of human health. It can help with teeth, but you can also get it in different ways, like topical, at the dentist, instead of mass, release of it throughout the water systems.